Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first ever weekend chat with Ryan Gregerson. Glad you all could be here, and what a big weekend it is. It is Super Bowl weekend. We're going to get into the facts of Super Bowl Sunday here in just a few minutes here. But first, I just want to talk about some of the news that I found relevant in this week. Earlier today, President Obama, the White House, released a picture of the president shooting a gun. Now, he's been really big on gun control and banning assault weapons. Now, although, in his defense, the gun he is firing in this photo, it is not an assault weapon. It appears to be a single bolt-action rifle that is used primarily for shooting clay pigeons for target practice. Now that being said, he could be shooting any gun. It really matter. This is just ammo for the opposition of President Obama, and this puts the ball in the court of the NRA, because the President Obama, if he's trying to control. Get a control on assault weapons and using this debate to try to get rid of certain types of weapons. Really, this picture, it's more ammunition for the NRA. I mean, just really puts the ball in their court. This really was a poor decision, and now the White House has to do some control damage, because clearly it was just not a good move by the White House. Now to weather-related news. Here in Minnesota, it has just been cold for the past few weeks. We've been hit with a really bad cold snap, but there appears to be a light at the end of the tunnel. The groundhog has predicted that he did not see a shadow, so he predicts that there will not be 6 more weeks of winter. I, for one, hope so, but it's been so cold up here that really I don't think a groundhog can possibly predict the end to this winter, because it has just been so cold. Literally, I'm drinking so much hot chocolate that if I have one more cup, I might have a seizure. It's just like I've been living off hot chocolate the past few weeks. But enough about that stuff. Let's talk about something that's really cool. Let's talk about video games, and specifically, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, for those of you that have been waiting for Grand Theft Auto 5, I've got bad news. Last year, Grand Theft Auto 5, it was announced that it was going to be out sometime in the spring of 2013. It looks like it is being pushed back all the way to September 17th, 2013. No doubt this is going to make Grand Theft Auto 5 fans very furious. But ultimately, this is not a bad idea for Grand Theft Auto 5. One, it gives them a chance to fix any mistakes fix any little things that need fixing. And really, I have not been hooked on Grand Theft Auto 5. I love the Grand Theft Auto series, but for Grand Theft Auto 5, I really haven't been hooked on it. But with now being pushed back, I could see more trailers. It gives a chance to see more trailers, see more stuff coming out for the video game. And for people like me who are not hooked, who have not been sold on Grand Theft Auto 5, we could get more chances to where we might actually start to believe that, yeah, maybe I should get this video game. So hopefully Rockstar Games will put out more stuff into where I will be convinced that I want to buy Grand Theft Auto 5. But unfortunately, for those who have been waiting a long time for this game, you have to wait longer, all the way to September 17th, 2013. But even though that is considered bad news in the video game industry, I got some good news. Sony most likely will be releasing PlayStation 4 news coming out February 20th. A video was released not too long ago that on February 20th, the people at Sony would be announcing the future of PlayStation, in which most likely is 100% certainty that they will be releasing details about the PlayStation 4. Many rumors have been going around as to what this console will have as far as hardware and software. There's been many speculations as possibly touchscreens on controls, better connect, not connect, that's Microsoft, but a better motion detection software. But really, people have been really looking forward to, okay, when are these consoles coming out? When's the next PlayStation coming out? When's the next Xbox coming out? Xbox is believed that they will be releasing information in early summer at the earliest. But now with Sony coming out so early and announcing that news about PlayStation 4, it might push Microsoft's plans up, and so we may hear news from Microsoft earlier than expected about a next Xbox. But it appears Sony is going to get the jump on Xbox this time around and be releasing news about the PlayStation 4. These two next consoles are expected to hit shelves at the end part of this year for the holiday rush. I'm really looking forward to these new consoles. Most likely, I'm gonna go with the Xbox, the new Xbox myself. But with Sony coming out first and to get their news about the PlayStation 4 out, it could definitely puts a feather in their cap, and really it would probably be best in the long run that they will probably get more money because their news, their information about their next console got out first. Where the last time around, Microsoft did their thing with the Xbox 360, got it out first, and they saw a much better profit than the Sony PlayStation 3 did. And then before we get into Super Bowl Sunday here and Super Bowl weekend and about the awards coming out later tonight, I just want to tell kind of a funny story that happened to me just a few days ago. I heard this conversation of these two women talking about about one of the woman's daughters, and they said, yeah, she finally got an autopsy on Monday. She was really happy, and this other woman she's talking to it's like, oh, that's so exciting. And I was like, what? I missed part of the conversation. I would have to. I mean, how can somebody be glad about having an autopsy? And how are you happy about having an autopsy? If you have an autopsy, you're dead. So obviously I missed something. Now, I was not part of this conversation. I had no business in the conversation, but you know, when you hear something like that, you gotta ask a question. So I went over to these two ladies and I was like, okay, I heard what you said about your daughter was happy she got an autopsy. Explain that to me. And then both of them start laughing, and obviously I did miss something. The daughter actually works in the coroner's office, and she got to work on her first autopsy. And I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Because I was just so confused. I'm like, how is somebody so happy about somebody having an autopsy? It was blowing my mind. But then I kind of thought afterwards, who would be happy to do an autopsy? I mean, yes, we need coroners and stuff. We need people to do this work. But, you know, to do this work, you need to have sort of like a Jack the Ripper thing in your brain going off. Like, I'm not saying that coroners are, you know, like Jack the Ripper, but I couldn't, you know, I could dissect a frog, but I could not dissect a human and like find out what the last thing they ate. It would just, yeah, I just couldn't do it. So to hear somebody saying they're excited that they did an autopsy on a dead human being, it just blows my mind. But you know, we need people to do that, and I'm glad that, you know, only a very few can do it. I don't think even most Marines could possibly even have the stomach to dissect a human being. But anyways, guys, let's talk about the big news. It's Super Bowl weekend. The 49ers versus the Ravens. If you were to ask me, Ryan, who do you think is going to win? Who are you cheering for? First of all, I am cheering for the Baltimore Ravens. I got nothing against the 49ers. They are a great team. They got Kaepernick, the rookie quarterback, coming into the Super Bowl. He's got to be psyched. That's great news. You got Randy Moss chewing his mouth off, saying that he's the greatest wide receiver of all time. And no doubt the man is talented. You got two head coaches, brother versus brother. It's all very exciting, but you know, I'm just rooting for the Ravens because, one, Lewis is retiring after this game. To go out on top would just be amazing and put just an exclamation mark on the end of his career. You got Joe Flacco for in his first 5 seasons, he has brought the Ravens to the playoffs. He's the only quarterback to ever do that. And now, to finally get to the Super Bowl, this man definitely deserves a Super Bowl reign. He's become a free agent at the end of the season. No doubt the Ravens are going to do everything in their power to keep him. He wants as much money as Peyton Manning is making, and rightfully so. This man has just definitely brought the Ravens and just made them into a household name. People really do underrate Joe Flacco. It's like either if he doesn't do good, you know, it's on him, or if he does great, you know, they still find ways to critique this man. Joe Flacco, number 5, quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, I have to say, is one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and you can take that to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable, but people don't give this guy enough credit. Yes, you can say Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and just all these great quarterbacks, Drew Brees, that they are elite quarterbacks. But really, the thing is, Joe Flacco, he can play the game just so efficiently. He can play the game. He can be very effective, and he always finds a way to get his team downfield and get into scoring range. And that's what you need to do. You need to drive your team downfield and put points up on the board. Of course, Lewis is definitely the morale leader for this team, and this being his last game, you just gotta cheer for him, trying to end up on top. It's gonna be very exciting, and of course, there's a whole bunch of commercials out there that look very interesting. I just saw one recently with The Rock trying to get milk for some kids, and it makes me laugh. I saw this commercial. I'm not sure if it's a commercial for the Super Bowl, but it was on TV, where this guy is fighting in World War II, and it's about promoting like shaving cream for men, but he's just talking about how people are texting and tweeting and all this stuff, and it's just like I just couldn't stop laughing at it. It's just like, but obviously I'm really looking forward to the commercials because they've always been the best commercials I've ever seen. But before the Super Bowl tonight, they are having the awards for MVP, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, all these awards. But the big question people are asking is, who is MVP? Who is the most valuable player? Is it Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings or Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos? Ultimately, I believe that Adrian Peterson should win this award. But with the history of Peyton Manning and what he's been able to do, coming back from hitting like 4 neck injuries, I think Peyton Manning will win this award, although I believe Adrian Peterson is deserving of it. But as Adrian Peterson says he believes he is MVP, and nobody can deny what Adrian Peterson has done, nor can anybody deny what Peyton Manning has done. These guys have had possibly their best years ever. Statistically speaking, Adrian Peterson, this was his best year. Peyton Manning, although Peyton Manning did not have his best year statistically, coming back from this neck injuries, coming onto a new team and bring him into the playoffs, really shows how great a quarterback and leader Peyton Manning is. But if you ask me, I hope Adrian Peterson wins MVP, but I'm expecting Peyton Manning to win it for a 4th time, I believe. Or was it 5th time? No, I think it's 4th time. But anyways, guys, that is what has happened this week. That's what I felt was noteworthy. Hope you guys enjoyed this weekend chat with me. Thank you all for listening. I'm off to go save the world, and I will see you guys next time.